Are we streaming?
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, the chat will be here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
All right. Why is it like a different like color here at the bottom? Oh, I know why. Aha, fixed it. All right, what minute are we at? 182 or a minute or 82 minutes. What's that? 122?
The last one came out this morning, right?
Yeah. Oh wait, I don't want to use this. I want to use VLC.
Yeah, we just did 122.
That's why it wasn't showing up here earlier. That's why. Window capture, we want VLC.
Are we live right now?
Yeah, man.
Oh, we're sorting through difficulties?
We're giving people time to get on.
Oh,
Usually it's just a boring loading screen like stream starting soon. You know, one of those things.
Now they can actually see us.
Right.
I thought this was funny because me and Shannon actually did this.
Oh, really?
On our phones. We were watching
Suits.
No, she didn't watch that yet. We were watching the show about the movie that came out about GameStop.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
About the YouTuber
me.
guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was like responsible for it. It stressed me out though. Yeah. All these people have like so much money in it and they're trying to like they're stuck between the like I made enough money and stick it to the man. Like diamond hands, never fold. Is that where it finished?
That's where we finished.
Oh, right.
That's where I finished anyways. All right, how do I share this? I got a notification that there was a stream.
Does show us our viewers? You could open the stream up here. That'd be weird. Oh, it's working.
It's working. It's a good sign.
See, I'm believing.
How do I share a stream?
Oh, there you go. Look, Randy Shiftin live. Share to Instagram. Can you not do that?
Probably not.
They're competitors.
Get shareable link. Is that what I want to do?
Share to Facebook. Not even playing that.
Where's that coming from? What screen am I looking for? This one?
I don't know. Probably just the actual.
YouTube is so confusing.
A interface?
Like a streaming.
Yeah. Wait, go back. They have a. I just need to post this. There we go. It's not playing.
Oh, Scott's here.
All right. Now, is it telling us we have one viewer somewhere? Oh, 1,000.
Look, I responded in the chat.
Nice.
Casey can't hear us.
Are you going to be doing that throughout the episode?
It's somewhere in here. I can't ever find it.
Go to...
Go live. Already live.
Yeah, click that. There might be a... Yeah, this.
Manage. There it is. So then I don't need this chat box here.
That works. Maximize.
And this is share.
Okay. Where are you sharing this to?
To
we are having a good night. We just had some wings and pork.
Discord. I was gonna put in the Discord. That makes sense?
Yeah. Wings with a side of pulled pork.
No, that's not what I want.
And congrats on winning your sweatshirt.
Yeah, anyways, Scott. Did you even see that?
That he won? You asking him?
Yeah, did you see that, Scott?
Scott, you won. You won the hoodie. Perfect for this time of year. You are recording up there, you know.
Yeah, it's not really recording. I mean, it's not for anything. It's hot now, right?
I'm warming up.
The other way.
But I like it. I'll just do it a little bit so it's blowing behind us. All right.
How's our audio levels?
I think we're good.
Okay.
I mean, I wasn't watching them. Maybe mine needs to be a little louder. How big do you like your blue bars?
Yes, Scott, you won. You won the
Man, you got to get in the Discord.
Ocean City.
He's not even in the Discord
Come
very often.
Much like my co-host here.
I don't think I've been in Discord for a couple months.
All right, should we get started?
Is there much going on in there right now?
Just giveaway stuff and
Brad's
sharing Brad's sharing memes and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we want to see you in the sweatshirt. Make sure you post it. Oh, you should do
we talked a lot about this movie here super fast.
Scott, if we send you a free sweatshirt, you'll do an unboxing video on your YouTube for it, right? And tag our Threadless page.
Is that how that works?
That's what he does.
That is true, yeah. What's the shirt?
That would be some support right there. Did I hear people upstairs?
Or the cat's going crazy.
Yeah.
Could be the cat's going crazy.
What was that cat emoji Scott just sent? All right.
Should we watch the minute? Yeah, we talk loud enough.
Let's watch last minute. We can't put the audio through for them, can we? Didn't YouTube ban that?
No, they should be able to hear it.
I thought they knocked us out last time.
Well, sometimes they block it out.
And they do that later.
Yeah, I think so. All right. Like this is the desktop audio, so it should be sharing to them.
All right, here we go. We did this already. We did our podcast on this minute, but we are gonna rewatch this so we know what we're getting into. That was a month ago.
We always like to catch up. Hopefully, there's no high-pitched noises like last time we live streamed.
Yeah, Scott, do you hear any high-pitched whine?
He says I'm going with you. Where are they going? Does he even know where he's going?
To Mexico.
To get the money.
Brian's going to Mexico to catch. Well, Dom wants his revenge.
It's Campos. And it's
Turn
Braga.
Up. Barely hear this.
It's because it's coming out of this monitor speaker.
Is that seriously your cats? Moving furniture and stuff? Oh, new minute.
Oh,
wow. First kiss in a long time.
Not for him, I bet.
She was down for it.
Whoa.
Clattering. Should have cleared the counter for. Oh, wait. Save it.
Yeah, don't talk. Scott, can you hear the movie? You can't hear the movie? Oh, I haven't made it.
Time. Pause. I was close.
All right, you should be here. Let's do a retest to see if you can hear the movie now.
Yeah.
Now you should be
able to hear it. We
don't
want you missing the audio in the movie. All right.
No.
How far back did you go?
Now he can.
All
Okay.
Right, good. We got all our audio sorted out here. Live streaming just adds a whole bundle of extra things to do.
All right. So I can stop this. And I can mute this, and I can hit record here, and I can hit record here. Welcome to Granny Shiftin. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jason.
And this is minute 83 of Fast and Furious 2009 edition.
That's right.
Do you find it annoying that they didn't call it Fast and Furious 4, Fast and Furious, or like, is it confusing? Because people just say it's Fast and Furious.
Yes. This is probably the only title that's like that, though, right? Because you had The Fast and Furious, and they're like, what should we call the fourth one? Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
So we just don't say the, and it's supposed to be like its own unique title somehow.
Right, but everyone called the original one Fast and Furious.
Right, The Fast and does that
The Fast
difference?
and the Furious.
Does the difference between the two titles lend itself to the difference of this movie?
Yeah, well, I
Fast
think
and Furious.
maybe because it harkens back to the original one, because their tagline was new original parts, new model, original parts, or something like that.
That was the tagline.
That was like the tagline of the movie, of this movie.
Oh, because they brought Dom back.
Yeah, and Brian.
So
neither of them were in the last one, and
right,
Letty and
Dom wasn't in since the first one, right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, he showed up at the end of the third one.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot he did.
Well, I'm surprised he did that. So they completely excluded him on the second movie. And then the third one, they excluded the entire cast and then brought him back at the end. How do you think they talked him into that? You know?
Is it the third one that they changed? Justin Lin was the director. I don't know when he started directing. Was it the third one? I don't know. But then he did like 3 through 7 or something like that. And I know him and Vin Diesel had like a close relationship. So that probably had something to do with it as well.
Yeah, he liked his music probably.
Probably.
Dom has some good music.
All right, I should back this up, right?
Yeah. We'll click through this here so you guys can see what we're talking about. Plus, of course, we want to see this scene again.
So just yeah, of course.
It's getting spicy.
A little refresher. Mia just walked home with groceries in her hand and saw Brian and Dom in the garage.
Right, and Dom is in, what do you call it?
Long sleeves, thermal.
Running from the police.
Right. He's in that as well.
So he's, what do they call it? He's a fugitive.
Yeah.
Right now.
Of the law. So
he's in his garage with the garage door open, lights on, working on his car. Smart.
Well, he did say, I'm right here. Like, he's not trying to hide.
Oh.
Remember, Brian said everyone's looking for you. He's like, I'm right here. I'm not scared of them.
And Dom's going to Mexico. We're recapping last minute.
Right.
Brian says he's going with him.
Because they didn't get a chance to kill Phoenix or Campos or Braga.
Yeah, why is Brian...
They captured Braga, fake Braga.
Is Brian doing like the classic cop in the movie thing where they get kicked off or put on leave and he's like, I have to finish the case. And they're like, you can't finish the case. You're not on the payroll right now. And he's like, I have to. Is that what's happening with Brian, or is he just trying to support Dom by going to Mexico?
It's the moral obligation of a police officer.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah. He's a good employee right there.
Loyal. He's a company man, that guy.
Mia came home.
Yeah.
She sees him and she looks upset.
She gets very emotional. And probably seeing them too, work in a garage. She's like, just like the old days.
But why? Wasn't she just was with both of them at that nice Airbnb in the middle of the desert by the oil rig, right?
Yeah. I think, but yeah, then they were getting along, but then they ended up fighting at the end of it.
Oh. Do you think?
I don't know.
All right. Well.
But anyway, she goes inside and starts crying, and then Brian comes in and says, hey, and then grabs her by the neck and kisses her face.
Yeah, he pulls her in, and then you're like, all right, what's going to happen? Is she going to go for it? Like,
yeah.
He just kisses her and then kind of releases her.
Yeah.
Lets her back up. And she looks at him and she's like...
Is she confused? She's like, with her eyebrows.
This would have been their first kiss they've had in 3 movies, right?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. She wasn't in Too Fast.
Yeah, since the first movie.
Because that was Monica Fuentes.
So then things accelerate quickly.
Oh, yeah.
He picks her up, sets her on the kitchen counter, and it's a messy kitchen counter. The groceries are there.
It will be soon.
She takes his sweatshirt off, and they are full on making out now.
Yeah.
And then the scene changes. So, what do you think? They went upstairs, or they just kissed and
They
then
probably
talked?
stopped, yeah, and talked. Played a game of Rummy Cube, probably.
Yeah, Rummy Cube.
That's
Interesting. Is that what they play in Los Angeles?
Yeah, I was there.
So the scene changes. We don't get to see what happens next.
No,
And that
can only
scene,
imagine.
Yeah.
Can only imagine.
And now we're seeing the city skyline of a city. And Dom, then it shows us Dom leaning on his car, like he was outside waiting. Like, what's taking them so long? And Mia, like, walks over to him.
Yeah.
And they have a little moment, too.
She says, how do you say goodbye to your only brother?
Yeah, I was a little confused at first. I'm like, why is Dom has a brother? And I'm like, oh, Dom is Mia's only brother.
Well,
but she doesn't have sisters either.
It's funny that they say that. How do you say goodbye to your only brother? And then fast forward 5 movies later.
Oh, Dom has a brother. Yeah, that's true. Does she know that?
Yeah.
Even now she would know that?
Yeah, later on. I mean,
like they've always known about the brother?
Like if you see in Fast 9 the like early scenes of like Dom racing, what was his name? John Cena, whatever his name was.
I don't know.
Dom racing him. Mia is in the scene. Like a different actress plays her, but she's in the scene. So
it is interesting though, because we've talked about before how it's when they make movies, they'll throw back to these little lines and clues early on, and we're like, how do they plan this 7 movies ahead where somebody said this little small thing and then they actually make it a part of the story later?
Right.
Like, did they just find things to do? And this would be like the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably like, oh shoot, she did say my only brother. Like, maybe
nobody's gonna think about that.
Yeah,
nobody's gonna remember.
Nobody will break the movie down minute by minute.
I mean, they did really kind of disown him, so maybe that's in her mind. That's not really her brother anymore.
Right. But I think the line, or what the line is meaning here, is like she's insinuating he might not come back.
Right.
She's saying goodbye. He's her only brother. She might have no brothers after this.
Yeah. And not only that, her love of her life is leaving as well.
Mm-hmm.
On the same suicide mission.
Her new boyfriend.
Very new.
Very new. So Dom, unemotional as always.
He already said the line, I think. He said, "You don't." She just nodded. And they embrace.
A deep hug.
Yeah. That's
not arms wrapped around hug. Arms up to the shoulders. Underneath and like...
less sibling and more couple hug.
You think?
Yeah, I wouldn't hug my sister that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What if she was really big and muscular? Because maybe your arms don't go around so good then. So you want to reach up.
What if my
put your hands on
sister was Ronda Rousey? Would I want her to like hold the back of my head as we hug? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's true. He was really drawing her in there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, and then we skip to the headlights of the Charger. Dom revving up the engine. You got to rev it up, you know.
We see the bug catcher, butterflies flapping.
Yeah, BDS.
And the minute ends.
BDS.
We figured this out last time. It's
Bilston
Edelbrock
Distribution Service.
Then we talked about this last minute.
Yeah, it says it on the side or something, doesn't it?
But he has an Edelbrock carb. I don't know.
Yeah. This has to be supercharged.
So there's the bug catcher, what we're talking about. The bug catcher has 3 valves on the opening. So there's a valve. It's like a butterfly valve.
Yeah.
And each one, it says B, D, and S. Each one has a letter.
Do they all go down to 1? Or do they stay individual?
I don't know. Because they'd have to... I think it's just open in there. Because they have to separate long ways once the air's inside there. So there's not a good way to lengthen that up. I think it's just... You wouldn't want to make one big flap. Yeah. That would look weird.
Yeah.
But... Yeah.
But Brian, I don't see Brian in the passenger seat. Is he driving separately?
And what's he driving? What is he driving right now?
Well, he had the Subaru.
No, Dom had the Subaru.
Who took the Hummer? Didn't Dom take the Hummer?
Brian has his Crown Vic.
What did Brian come here in?
Yeah. I don't know.
Did we even see that?
Should we back it up? Back it up. See if we can see. We know when he pulled up. There they are kissing. They're in the garage wrenching like old times.
No, he just walks in. Oh,
right,
that's a Subaru in front of the garage there.
Yeah, but Dom drove that back to his house. And he just walks up.
He just walks in.
Huh. So we don't know what he was driving. Yeah.
Maybe he walked there. He's done that before. Yeah, it's definitely the Subaru in there.
Yeah,
Remember he walked there from
like Crown Vic.
Little Tokyo?
Yeah. Yeah. It's what it's like living in the city. You don't need a car.
Yeah.
All right.
That is it for minute, what is it, 83?
83.
1 hour, 23 minutes.
We're getting into the meat of things here.
Yeah,
I mean, we're in the meat
minutes,
of things.
20 minutes left till the end of the movie. I don't know if that includes credits or not. I always forget.
We're talking 15. I mean, that's like, we got 4 months to go. We'll be done with this movie. And then 4 months, that'll put us into June. Maybe we have another Patreon event.
Yeah,
movie
time
showing.
for outdoor movie.
Yeah.
Cool. And congratulations again to Scott for winning the January giveaway. He won the, I want to say Orange County Choppers, but that's not it. What's the West Coast Choppers?
Yeah.
Like the Brian shirt from Too Fast and Furious, but instead of West Coast Choppers, it says Granny Shiftin
Podcast.
Pretty cool.
Yep. And Scott wants to point out in our live stream chat that Brian definitely got his 10,000 steps that day.
Yeah.
Walking
from the FBI headquarters where he got fired.
Yeah.
Well, not fired, just taken off the case.
Right.
But,
put on leave.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. And thanks for listening. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jason.
And always remember,
winning's winning.
All right, 1 down, 12 to go.
12.
Should we finish it tonight? Just do all 15?
No. I'm going to pee, though.
Okay, have fun.
Entertain the chat.
You making videos tonight, Scott? I'm surprised how well this background rejection works. Oh, you're playing Power World? I keep considering it, but it's hard for me to buy a game. Nice. But everybody who I've talked to that has played Power World has said it's really fun. But anytime I get time to play a video game, I'm just playing Apex. You think about playing Power World?
Power World?
Yeah.
It costs money. You got to buy it.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I watched a little. I'm like, I've never played a game like that. I don't know. Would it be fun? Probably. It's like Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Is it actually Pokemon
No.
or it's the same style game?
Yeah,
like
but it's
catching...
like, but you're like building like a village or something. I'm not even sure. I keep thinking I should watch somebody play, but just to see how it goes. But it's so hard when you jump in and watch somebody and they've already got like 20 hours into the game and you're like, okay, I should have watched them start it up.
I watched for 5 minutes and I was like, I have no idea what's happening. This guy's hopping around and like...
Scott's 25 hours into it.
He's loving it. Playing with Michelle. Yeah, I also don't understand how you get like pro at a game like that. Like I understand like a fighting game, but like are these guys like really good? How do you get really good at like Minecraft? You know, like I don't know.
How do you get people? How do you get to the point where people would want to watch you play? Is that what you're thinking of? Because I don't think there's
where you're
pro
better
Minecraft.
than other people. That people prefer to watch you.
Right.
I guess I don't know how you win.
Your...
Is there a way to win in Power World? There is pro Minecraft. I remember watching.
Really? Like what do you do?
Battling. They were like fighting in it.
Really?
Yeah, I remember seeing that once.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think in Power World you can attack other people's islands or villages or whatever you're working on. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Pokemon and Ark. If you ever heard of Ark. Never heard of Ark. Heard of
Ark is
Pokemon,
like the
though.
dinosaur game, I think.
Oh, it's on. Oh, from the Bible.
Yes.
I heard of the
Noah's
Ark.
Ark.
Yep.
Yeah. Where all the dinosaurs went
Big
extinct.
flood.
I got no clue. Why is that heart there? I can't read that.
Oh, you can like
Either if you collect
there.
all.
I wonder if you drag it a little wider, if that heart. There's something like
I can't drag.
There's a heart showing up covering our chat a little bit, but
yeah.
Oh wow.
All right, should we watch the next minute?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Oh yep, super. I guess I gotta make payments for this house along.
Save it. Save it, Ryan.
Okay.
You weren't gonna show up.
You saved my life.
2 seconds.
I'm willing to return the favor.
All right.
Check.
Check.
All right. Welcome to Granny Shiftin. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jason.
And this is minute 84 of Fast and Furious.
The 4th.
We're on the way to
Fast and Furious
Mexico.
movie. Yes, we are. And I'm back from Mexico.
Oh, yeah. How was your Mexico trip?
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah. Good. That's all I wanted to know.
All right. Now, we should start this minute with some drinks.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course, in our Granny Shifting summer showdown glasses screening. So I was told if you're drinking bourbon
See the Granny Shiftin logo on that?
or whiskey or scotch, the correct way to do it is to mix 25 to 50% water with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Who were
heard
you
of this?
told this by? I mean, I've heard it before of having whiskey and water.
It was a TikTok, but it was like an old video.
Okay.
Some like, what do you call it? Not well endowed, well established,
Okay.
proper looking gentleman
Oh, yeah.
talking about drinking.
He had like a
whiskey.
fine mustache and...
Yeah, and he said because when it's full strength, the alcohol covers up the flavors in it, and so you don't get to
Okay.
appreciate all the
all that Evan Williams has to offer.
Yeah. So this is Evan Williams,
80 proof.
which is actually Kentucky's first distiller. So he's been around a while. It was 80 proof. Now it's 20.
Cheers.
You know,
You're supposed to
smell
shoot
it,
this? I did already. Check the legs too.
sip it, slosh it around in your mouth a little.
It's warm. I feel like if you pour warm whiskey with an ice cube and wait,
Yeah,
then
similar
you have
effect.
cold whiskey, but it's still watered down.
But it is more pleasant this way.
It's definitely more potable.
And you can notice a lot more of the complexity of it.
How complex is Evan Williams?
Oh, it's oaky with notes of
Pine,
pine,
And-
and
birch, other woods,
and
brown sugar.
sorry,
I want to say maybe some cumin.
oh yeah, cumin. Trying to think of spices right now. Oregano.
It's an Italian
and
whiskey.
Salt.
Oh yeah, on the rim.
I'll tell you what. In Mexico, I did so many shots of tequila. That sounds like a lot, but I did several a day,
Okay.
spaced out. It
Yeah,
was
I mean,
pretty
there's
responsible.
24 hours.
There was
so-
not a moment in Mexico that I was drunk.
Really.
Yeah. But there were times that I felt a buzz. but you kind of spread. It's easy going. You're not like
Right.
woohoo. Plus we're there with kids, so we drink at the pool. I drank a lot of pina coladas.
Right.
Then
You
in the
drank
evening,
just enough to be a good parent.
That's right.
Yeah.
I couldn't have. Yeah, no one could call child and youth on me. No, but we would get shots like a couple a night, throughout the night, and we'd always get them with lime and salt.
Oh.
But by the end of the week, my tongue was like sore
Right.
because like salt,
all the acidity,
and the acid from the lime, like just felt like it was eating away. But I do taste normal now.
Okay.
Try me.
I'll pass this time.
All right. So
we should do a taste test between Evan Williams and the $70 bottle Angel's Envy that I have. That's like the good whiskey.
Oh yeah, you got
and
some
the
of
bad whiskey.
Is this really bad?
I mean, it's bottom shelf. It's
it's
not the worst
bottle.
Yeah, it's $25 for a handle.
Jack Quinn's.
No, do they make whiskey? They make it all. It's all the same thing, just in different labels.
I guess I don't know my whiskey very well.
I mean, this is bottom shelf. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay. What's a big bottle like that cost?
$25, $27.
Huh. That's pretty good deal.
Yeah.
I think it's the best value whiskey you can get.
Oh, yeah. In my experience, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the minute here.
So
Dom
pulls out. Dom pulls out of the driveway, driving his Charger. This minute started, he's like revving it. And I'll say, it's not real impressive coming through your monitor speakers.
Yeah. With no bass.
Yeah, no bass, not a lot of complexity in the sound.
Oh, yeah. They should water it down.
Yeah.
They should put some water in.
Yeah. But you can tell he's just sitting in the driveway.
Yeah.
What time of night is this?
It's late, I can tell.
It's super late.
Yeah.
His neighbors, at this point, they're like, Dom started his Charger.
Yeah, were the lights even on in his neighbor's house?
You figure a big enough engine like that, sticking out of your hood, supercharger. That car is probably so loud.
Be so annoying to live next to him.
But
again, it hasn't started in years, so.
Yeah. So, but Brian actually pulls out in the Subaru behind him. So Brian's driving the car he gave to Dom now, but he didn't drive it there. I'm almost positive he walked there because that car was parked there while Dom was working on his car.
Right.
And then it was like backed in too. So
yeah.
They're on the road now. They're leaving for Mexico, I guess.
And Mia's just standing there.
Yeah,
watching her two favorite boys leaving.
She stands on the sidewalk and watches them drive off, and then like turns and just stares off.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think she's thinking?
She's thinking, what am I gonna do now? Who's gonna pay for this house?
Will I see them again? That house is definitely paid for. Dom, that little house, they've been living there for 20 years now. Well, 10. And all that money they're making selling DVD players and stuff.
Yeah. I guess they never really caught him for that, did they?
Yeah, I guess not. He's been a fugitive ever since.
Yeah.
Now,
but we haven't seen any of the other people.
If you own a house and you steal all this stuff, I guess they have to convict you first. They can't just come take your house, even if your sister's living there.
And Letty was just as involved as Dom.
Yeah, and she's been around this whole time.
Right. So how did she?
She was there for all of it. And she robbed the trucks.
Because she's working for the FBI to clear her brother's slate. Said nothing about her own slate.
Yeah, what about her slate? Interesting.
Have you ever seen this type of sign? Caution. People running.
You know, I think. Okay. You guys got to pull up the live stream or our live record. What do you call it?
YouTube recording.
Yeah, YouTube or on Spotify. You can watch the video.
Yeah, true.
In this scene that we're paused on right now, Dom and Brian are driving down a desert highway road, and there's a sign on the side of the road, a caution sign, but it's showing, I think it's Mexican immigrants is what it's showing. Like, caution, watch out for immigrants. It's showing a male and a female adult silhouette pulling very quickly. They're like running, they're like moving forward, pulling a child behind them, and the child's like almost in the wind.
Right, right.
So it's a family of 3 and it says caution.
Yeah.
Like, not like a deer.
Yeah, and this is a desolate area. So it wouldn't be like, there's no crosswalks. It's not like watch out
Right.
for people crossing the road.
But it's also somewhere you can see a mile in front of you
Right.
easily. Watch out for Mexicans crossing the road. That's what that sign is.
'Cause
How
they're-
weird. And it's huge. That's
Yeah.
3/4 the height of a telephone pole.
It's like a
3/4
billboard.
It's a billboard.
Yeah. They are 3 miles from the Mexican border, we find out here.
Do you think that sign's real? Or they put that there?
I don't know.
All right. So the camera pans with them as they drive past. And now we see the new sign, like Ryan just pointed out. U.S. Mexico border, 3 miles, end route.
What's the end route? That's like
Route.
the end of the road.
End route.
End of the road.
Is it
You
route
can't go
or
any
route?
further. Route.
Route?
Route. Route 66. Route.
Is it both?
Yeah.
What's the difference? Where you're from?
Yeah. Route. Like if you use the tool that you take around wood to make the edges beveled or
Yeah,
have a
the-
design,
the
that's
router.
a router. No.
The
That's
router.
The roto-rooter? That's ROOTER.
Yeah, that's a router, but also has an R on the end
Maybe
because
it's
you can't use that premise for many words.
Right.
Will change. Is it roots or roots? We have a famous.
Oh, Scott think
Tuesday-
it's the end of a bus route. He said it's the end of a bus.
Bus route.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't say bus route,
No, bus route.
but you say route when you're talking about like the way you're gonna take, and a route when you're talking about the path something else takes.
Right.
I don't know. We have a flea market near us called Roots, and if you're not from around here, people call it Roots.
Right, because it's spelled with 2 O's.
Maybe it's in Root.
But if you are going someplace and someone's like, "Are you here yet?" and you're like, "I'm en route."
I'm in route. Yeah, route. I think
I'm
is
en route.
the way you're
en route.
going, and route is where somebody else is going.
Huh. Route is the road. Route is the traveling.
You can't even Google this because it's spelled the same way. What's the difference between
Route
and route? You know?
Yeah. All right, but anyways, the 2 cars fly by.
What do you think the road just ends?
I think it's just saying like you can't go any further unless you have your passport.
And
Passaporte.
route. Yeah, there's gonna be like a checkpoint thing.
How many roads cross over from Mexico to
Yeah,
United States?
I don't know. Google
the
that.
Border Patrol.
How many routes cross between? And it's weird that it says end route because it's not ending. It's just maybe it is the end of a bus route.
Cross between Mexico.
Oh, and Scott pointed out it's a bus pull-off spot.
That's what he thinks.
But there is gravel on the
Mhm.
side there, like you would pull off or turn around. And you're like, oh, I went the wrong way. We're 3 miles from the border.
There are 48 U.S.-Mexico border crossings.
Hmm.
Man,
So I wonder which one this is.
wonder. Yeah.
If you can identify this and prove it to us, we'll send you a T-shirt.
So they left at night. It's daytime now. How long does it take? How long does it take to get from Los Angeles to Mexico?
4 hours. I did it.
24 hours by car.
Nuh-uh. No. That's not right.
I found this on the web.
Mexico City. Mexico border. Los Angeles to the Mexico border.
How far to get from Los Angeles to the border of Mexico?
What do we got?
Couldn't find any matches. Let's try Google. How long does it take to drive from Los Angeles to the Mexican border?
Here we go. I'm guessing 4 hours.
Around 3.5 to 4 hours.
Oh!
Ah.
I did it. Oh, now we got we got a route.
So if it's daytime now, I mean, they're almost there. So it's daytime. And it's been 4 hours. That means that they left at the earliest or at the latest. I don't know, whichever one would say, 1 a.m., right? Like the sun
three.
is
Sun's up.
well up.
So 4 hours before
Like they
6
couldn't have left
a.m.
at 12.
I guess the sun could come up at 5.
So he's out there revving his charger
At 1 a.m.
at, one,
Eh,
at the
it's
earliest
late
1
at the
a.m.
earliest.
Yeah.
But okay, so they're driving and they make a little stop here.
What a scenic spot, man. This should be the thumbnail for this minute.
What city are we looking down?
I might as well
here?
snag this now, right?
Yep. Screenshot that. So they park their cars on a gravel pull-off, maybe a bus stop. Who knows?
I feel like I've seen this in the like "See You Again" music video. Like,
oh yeah.
Don't you think?
All the buildings, there's like a town below them. It doesn't look like a city to me. Oh, we can see all your documents here.
Don't look at them. They're private.
So it looks like a town, not a city, though.
Right.
Pretty big, but there's no skyscrapers. Ryan's throwing rocks off the hill. Yeah, pause this. We need to talk about this. But it almost looks like a Mexican town to me. All the buildings are white.
Yeah. And like single story.
Yeah.
I mean, by the looks of it.
There's no trees in Mexico, so they love their concrete.
Was there I mean, like every Mexican town has to have like a Catholic church.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
what's this?
This right here?
Looks like a Catholic church.
Yeah, it's got to be it.
So that could be it. So hopefully nobody's hiking this hill because Brian's just chucking rocks off. And Dom is standing here with his necklace, like the chain of his necklace wrapped around his hand and then the cross hanging across his knuckles, and he's gripping it in a fist in front of him. What do you think that's about?
So at some point he decided that while I sit on my hood, I'm going to take this necklace off of my rear view window, wrap it around my hand, and just sit here. And Brian...
that was on his rear view window?
Yeah.
He wasn't wearing it.
Right. Brian doesn't even mention it.
You think he's like praying or trying to summon good vibes from the good Lord?
It's just good vibes right here.
But he's like tightly clenching it, and it's wrapped. And it's just very... I don't know. I think the movie's trying to insinuate they're heading into some trouble. And he's hoping for good vibes.
I wonder if the city actually exists. Like, is this an actual, or like, somebody make a city in here that they're like, not like a small city that they're.
You're filming a movie and you're like, do we actually want to drive all our production equipment 4 hours out into the desert to get a shot like this, or do we do it over here and then we just put a green screen behind them?
Right.
But right where Brian was throwing rocks comes a car.
Like right
up the hill.
With a crack in the windshield.
No crack. But it is a Porsche.
Yeah.
Or Porsche if you're annoying and nobody likes to hang out with you.
Yeah.
It's a Carrera. Mid-engine. Right? That's not a 911.
I don't know Porsches at all.
Pretty sure that is a Porsche Carrera.
Did you know who it was when the car was pulling up?
Yeah, I figured. Because we haven't... Like, why isn't Dom with Giselle now? Like, he escaped with her. And where did he let her go? But she got her
Porsche back.
Yeah, that's weird. So...
Her Porsche was, last we saw it, was at the garage at Braga's bar.
Okay. That was in Mexico. No, it was before they shipped them to Mexico.
Yeah.
So she went back to Braga's bar and got her Porsche. And then... I mean, we know they're going to Mexico to get their revenge. So why are they summoning her?
Yeah. I mean, she's working both sides right now. You think that she went back to Braga and she's like, I escaped. Don't worry.
I got him.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, so her and Dom have a little moment.
Right.
Let's talk about this a little more, but let's explain what happened. She gets out of the car here and Dom's like, I thought you weren't going to show up. And she says, you saved my life. I'm willing to return the favor. So they are looking for help from her, I guess?
Yeah.
There's no reason they should trust her. They shouldn't have saved her in the first place. She came after them. She knew the whole time they were coming.
She gave him no warning. She had his number.
Yeah. And even on the phone call with him, Braga was there with her, and I don't know. She's been shady the whole time. But now it's like they're in love.
Well, she's in love with him, I feel like.
You think? You don't think Dom is with her in a Dom way?
I think he's just flirting.
Because he needs it?
Right.
All right.
I think so.
I'd flirt with her, too.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that.
If your wife was dead?
Yeah. I wasn't going to say it. That's what it was. Sounds terrible.
Yeah. He's like, I'll dangle her along just in case I need a second option. You
That's
know,
right.
if I make it through this alive, I can always call on Giselle for a good time,
A date.
a handhold, a good time hand holding, line dancing maybe.
Yeah, line dancing.
Things they do in
He doesn't seem like
LA.
much of a line dancer.
Well, yeah, he doesn't seem
Is
much
he-
of a
Think he has?
EDM
Oh,
singer
Scott
either.
in our live stream chat says, what is the
Correct.
correct way to say Porsche? I think Porsche is technically correct, but you shouldn't correct people when they say Porsche because Porsche is like a little bit like I'm a stuck up. It's the correct way to say it.
Yeah.
Because it's probably like the Italian pronunciation of it.
Yeah. But like we say Lamborghini. Is there like a fancy way to say Lamborghini? It's like saying mozzarella or like
Lamborghini.
mozzarella.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
please don't.
So,
Like if you
Scott's
walk into a
shopping for
Porsche-
a 911 GTS 3. Sheesh.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything to me. Like I'm so unfamiliar with Porsches. I'm sure it's a good car.
The more like stuff after the 911, the more expensive it is.
Yeah. Isn't there like a R or something line that's like the
Yeah, probably.
like the
RS.
ones that like go
RTR.
like beyond Porsche and they like look even like crazy.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know.
Well, but they look really similar, and then it's like there's a 911 that's like $1.5 million. It's like the GTS, GTR. I don't know.
GTS 3.
It might be the GTS 3.
What does a
Jeez, Scott.
Porsche 911 GTS 3 look like?
Let me do a top speed video for my YouTube channel once you get it. Yeah, we're looking up Scott's new Porsche. The nice thing about Porsche
Just says
Porsche
GT3.
is we have a dealer right here in Lancaster for maintenance and all that. That would make that's the problem. That's why I don't have a Lamborghini or Ferrari. Like, who wants to go to Philly to get it worked on?
There's a GT3 RS. I guess that's Rally Sport. What's RS?
Rally GT3R.
I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, you can go to Auto House here in Lancaster. They'll hook you up and they can do all their maintenance and stuff and warranty stuff. So good to know. All right. Let's finish this minute. Oh,
We're
we
done.
did.
That's it.
So Giselle's willing to return the favor.
Yeah, I still don't think they've said her name at all.
No.
We just know it, but
And it doesn't show up in the credits. Sometimes they'll say like who's
you sure?
No, not the credits, the subtitles.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes they say who's saying stuff.
Right,
And
yeah.
It doesn't. So, but we know because Ryan cheated and watched the movies in the future. So.
And that's the end of minute 84. Thanks for
Yep.
listening. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jason.
And always remember,
Winning's winning.
are those two?
Oh, tired.
How many are we supposed to do?
4.
4. You're not going away for a week anytime soon?
Nope.
We were going to have to kind of rush because you were coming over later, but now we don't have to rush as much.
Yeah, we're fine. Grab a beer.
Okay. After I
Maybe I
start.
shouldn't drink. I feel like.
Oh, you want a,
First good night's sleep?
should I make some coffee?
No.
You want a latte?
Sleep tonight.
Oh. I don't even know who you are.
I think I'm just recovering from Mexico. Like, drinking all day for 7 days. Not enough to get hungover, but not enough for it to be healthy. And then getting 7 hours of bad sleep every night.
In Mexico.
Yeah.
Bad because of your kids being ill, or bad because it wasn't your house, or bad or everything together?
It wasn't my house. It's a little uncomfortable. The bed was comfortable and the pillows are nice, but there's this new thing that hotels do where they don't put a fitted sheet on.
Oh,
They put a
yes.
flat sheet and tuck it under,
Yeah.
but they weren't tucking it under. And then they had a mattress cover on, which was like for a bed too small. So it stopped like 6 inches short of the king size edge. And so as the night went on, the sheets would bunch up under me,
Yeah.
which was really annoying. And then I'd like wake up to pee because we'd been drinking, and I'd drink water and then pee.
Right.
And then at like 5 a.m., I'd hear coughing, and I'd be like, oh no.
please just go back to sleep.
Right, and then it would like mess, like I'd overthink it, and then I wouldn't sleep well.
Right.
So I'd wake up, and then by 7 o'clock, man, I cannot really sleep past 7. So
Scott, have you ever been to Mexico?
Scott seems like somebody that's never left the United States. I mean that in the best way. But
He's very not traveled.
yeah, he doesn't seem like much of a traveler.
It's like he
likes Lancaster. Got around the wife wants to watch Young Sheldon. I saw that show, but I never watched Old Sheldon. So
You mean Big Bang Theory?
yeah,
Yeah. Me neither. I never really got into it.
he's not left. See, I knew it. I don't mean in a bad way. It just doesn't seem like somebody that's even like when's the first time you left the States? Wasn't until your trip with me, right?
No? I left
Oh, you. But
I
all
went-
right. So before Costa Rica, when did you leave?
How far do I have to go? Like Canada? Does that count?
Ah, okay. You're a traveler. No, I was talking about our trip to Mexico, but we did.
Right. That was my first time in Mexico.
Yeah, we did missions trips together.
Yeah.
Travel. Yeah, you should, man. The problem is you work too much.
Yeah.
You can't work 70 hours a week, Scott, and travel. Well,
You could
You
travel
could-
the United States. You could get a KOA thing, get an RV. They all have Wi-Fi. You can still do all your reviews.
that's the thing with what Scott does and we do now.
Yeah.
As long as you can get Amazon to deliver, which I think you can get them to deliver to like places.
Yeah.
I'm not
Probably.
sure. Hotels, will they do that? And then you
Campgrounds.
can
People
review.
live there.
And you don't have kids. If I'm in a hotel room with 3 kids, it's kind of hard to do a review video. But
Yeah. It's
so
kind of hard for me to review video when I'm down here and my kids are upstairs in the farthest
Yeah.
room. I like do a video. I'm like, you probably can't hear that. And then I listen back. I'm like, you can definitely hear that.
yeah,
Kids like
Yeah,
playing,
it's annoying.
screaming in the background.
So there is something that a lot of people do, influencers like us, where they go to Airbnbs and then review everything in the Airbnb,
Oh.
which I think is a bad practice. You're just kind of gaming the system. Like you're not getting a product and reviewing it. You're finding a product and then taking a quick 1 minute long video
Right.
of like, this bathtub is so nice. We really like it. And I'm like, this is not your house.
Right. And it's
And
like,
people there was a lady that had a video. She got banned, but she was famous. She had a whole training course and everything. One of her videos was of a trash can. She's literally sitting in a public restroom stall on the toilet, because you can tell you can't see the toilet,
right.
but there's a trash can in the stall, and she's doing a review video on the
Oh
trash
my
can.
word. She's like addicted.
But anyway, all right, let's keep
All right.
rolling here.
All right. Have a good night, Scott.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Wait, did we? Yeah, we got to watch the next minute. Yeah.
This will help get you to Braga. Tom, going in there is suicide.
I have no choice.
Later, Scott.
You must have loved her very much.
Look how skinny her arms are. Do you see that? Skinny shame.
Dios.
Eat a cheeseburger.
So this is where my jurisdiction ends.
Who did you say that to? Tom's not even close.
This.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Check, check.
Check 1, 2.
Thanks for listening to Granny Shiftin. I'm Ryan.
And I also am glad you guys are listening. I'm Jason.
And this is minute 85 of Fast and Furious.
I like that we have an intro. We've done 300, more than that, 600 times.
Maybe, yeah.
And like we try to mix it up, but we could just do it completely different. You ready?
Okay.
Hey guys, we're back. This is the Granny Shiftin podcast, and we are excited to get into the next minute. So, do we have to introduce ourselves every time? This is Jason and Ryan on the Granny Shiftin podcast, and we are on minute 85, ready to get into it. Let's see what happens.
Do you think that it's like better to fake your personality for listener or viewership?
Like acting?
Normally I feel like I'm kind of a boring, like kind of like person. So like for me to be like, "Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast," like would feel so fake.
Yeah.
And then you'd meet me in person and be like, "You're not the guy." You know what I mean?
Don't a lot of like
They have to be
personalities
acting.
do that?
Yeah, I know our friend Lime Tree.
Yeah.
He was kind of burned out on streaming because he felt like he kind of had to act sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
especially like lower, like he'd like
You have to work
pretty well
harder.
like 20 to 30 viewers per thing as far as I
Right.
ever saw. Which, I mean, I never got more than like 3 at a time.
Right, right.
So it's pretty good when you have that every time. But like even at his level, you feel like you still have to interact with every single person in the chat and pretend to be interested in every single thing that they're
Right.
saying,
Right.
even if you're not at all.
Yeah, I mean, we've both done some small time video game streaming, and
Yeah.
you think like, oh, I'll just stream while I'm playing,
Right.
but it's like it's not the same because you are aware. You have to entertain people even if you don't
Right.
feel like it. You have to not say things or say things or
Right.
even like the way you look or what's going in the background,
Right.
the background of your video
Yeah.
or the sound. I don't know, but I don't know how much. Do you think we do that for our podcast?
No, I don't think we do. But if we did an intro like you did,
Oh yeah, and if I saw on our little like sound wave thing that records
Yeah.
us, I was like really loud there.
yeah,
So sorry guys.
I think I do have a set louder than people normally do. It just makes it easier for editing for me. But
Easier to turn it down than to turn it up.
no, we're like I try to aim for like us peaking in the middle, right? Like our normal talking goes right into the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But then if we louder scream, if we get louder, or
If we louder scream.
if we louder scream. But I feel like most of the times people go really low, but then you really have to amplify and
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways,
That's podcast 101. All right. So, if you remember from
Yeah.
last minute,
it's just
Brian and Dom are on top of the hill, and Giselle comes and meets them, and she says she's here to return the favor. So, this minute, I will say in general, was very slow, but went by kind of quick.
Mm-hmm.
I found there are slow minutes that tend to drag out, and you're like, what? How is this taking so long? And then there's fast minutes that seem really long. Like, oh my word, so much just happened. 30
Yeah.
seconds went by. And in this minute, hardly anything happens. I mean, some stuff, but it went by kind of quick.
She kind of like secretly hands Dom a paper that says this will help you get to Braga.
Yeah, it's like folded up notebook sheet.
Right, but why doesn't she be like, okay, what I wrote down
Yeah,
is like this
explain
here.
it.
Right.
Yeah, look at this and let me know if you have any questions.
Right. Like
So-
she's like, I can't say too much, but this will help you get to Braga.
So what do you think's
Like-
on the paper that would help him? An address? It's gotta
Yeah.
be like an address.
It has to be.
But once you want information, like this is his house, or this is his headquarters with 6 guards,
Right, exactly.
or this is where he keeps his whatever.
Right.
You know, like no information.
So
But-
she wants to help, but not help that much.
So she says, she hands on the paper and says, Dom, going in there is suicide. So
Which I hate his response. He looks at the city, and look, she looks at his body. She's like, okay,
she's looking at the paper.
now's a good time. She's like,
She's
yeah.
checking out his
Look at
waistline.
that thermal tee. That's what I'd wear to Mexico.
Oh, those pants are tight. But if she's giving him information to lead him to Braga. She's saying going in there is suicide. Isn't she really also putting herself at risk? Like, is she getting out now? Are we supposed to get the impression like she went through all that and now she's like, oh, I don't want to be involved anymore? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
She shouldn't have been surprised by. It was a drug deal. Things didn't go well. Like, what would have changed her mind during all this?
Yeah. I don't know.
Brian saved
I think
her,
she's like
or
giving
Dom saved her
enough
life,
help, but not too much that she can go either way depending on how this goes.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what she's like. I gotta toe the line here a bit.
Like, Dom saved her life, but Braga didn't betray her in any way.
No, yeah. Why is she
Things-
even involved in them? Like, does she want to be involved in that?
Is she like his girlfriend or something? Yeah, what is her role?
Yeah, I don't know.
What does she do?
Well, she organizes the races, I guess, right?
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Did she find the racers?
No, that was Parks. That was Park.
other
He
guy?
was the one that was finding the racers.
Huh.
Anyway, so she said it's suicide, and he said, I have no choice.
Yeah.
Which is like, yeah, you do have a choice. Like, you're choosing revenge.
Right.
Like,
it's completely a choice.
You're not even, like...
He should have said, it's my choice, and
Right.
I understand it's suicide.
Right.
I have no choice. What do you mean? What? How do you not have a choice? Just don't go.
So there's the small piece of parchment there.
Fold it up. Yep. Looks like it might be a little cold.
Was that? I was going to mention that, but like, is that just a shadow? What's going on there?
Yeah, it's a shadow.
Her response to that is, you must have loved her very much. Like, is that really like being like, I loved her so much, I went and died? Like, I don't know.
So, yeah, first off, this scene really showcases her biceps.
Yeah, man.
Oh, my word. Her arms are so skinny. It looks weird. And the way she's moving them, they're like flapping.
Is that the angle? Like,
yeah, like maybe she's holding them a weird, because when she turns, they're like changing. But I think the you loved her very much is like a, if things were different, I wish we could be together. There's like, some sexual tension between them.
yeah.
And what do you think of her arms? Man, this is so awkward, this whole scene.
Yeah.
You must have loved her very much. She sets her hands on his, what do you call his shirt? What are you calling it?
Thermal.
His thermal shirt. His long sleeve.
Long
sleeve.
Yeah. Thermal tee.
Thermal tee. And she like sets him on his chest and runs her hands down across his pectoral muscles.
She's like, this is my last chance. I'm going to feel him up real quick.
Yeah.
Imagine if it
Those
was
are
reversed.
How much do you bench?
Imagine if it was reversed.
Wouldn't work.
He's like, I have no choice. Just like feels the front of her body.
You must have loved your boyfriend very much.
You must love Campos a lot.
Yeah, so she rubs her hand on him, leans up, and gives him a kiss, like a slow kiss on his cheek where she's resting her cheek against his. And then they just stare into each other's eyes.
Licks her lips.
So let's recap. So far this minute, she hands him a piece of paper. She tells him this will help you get to Braga, going in there suicide. He says he has no choice. And she said, you must have loved her very much. What did she say there?
Vaya con Dios.
Vaya con Dios.
Go with God.
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
She says, go with God, because we know he's religious. He was holding his necklace. And once again, Dom stands there with no emotion.
And Brian says pretty quietly, this is where my jurisdiction ends. And then I'm like,
weird.
But look at how far away he is. Like,
So, do
it's
you
like
think
he's like right there, but then when it zooms out, you can see they're like 15 feet away from each other.
Are they looking at Mexico?
This must be the border. Where's the
Okay.
patrol?
So they also have been
It seems like they're
sitting
in
here
Mexico.
waiting for a long time.
Looks like it, yeah.
And he just chooses now, after Dom has this moment. So this is where my jurisdiction ends. Like, they literally were here bored. He's throwing rocks. They were wondering if Giselle would ever show up. And now, after her and Dom have this weird moment, he said, this is where my jurisdiction ends. Like, that's what he's thinking about?
Yeah.
But she
So is he
gets
gonna
her
go in
Porsche.
there?
In where?
Is he gonna like go with him?
Oh, yeah, they're going together, man. Giselle drives off, so.
Yeah, Giselle does drive off. But why does he even say that this is where my jurisdiction ends?
Oh,
It seems like he's not going to go
it's
then.
leading into the next line, which
Yeah.
doesn't happen until next minute.
Right. He had to say that so that Dom could say his next line.
And we can see it because it's on the subtitles.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually happen until next minute. So you're going to have to stick around unless you're also watching the live stream or our video of the podcast.
Yeah.
Then you could probably see the line. But next minute,
But
This
if you're
is-
watching a live stream, you get to see right now what happens next minute. You don't have to wait a week.
That's right.
You can see right now.
But it is one of those things like there's no way after Dom and Giselle had that weird interaction that Brian wouldn't make a comment about that at all
Right.
or give it a little time. He's just like, I guess I'm not going to be a police over there.
He's like, what should I say? What should I say? This is where my jurisdiction ends.
Did he know anything about Dom and Giselle having some sort of flirtatious relationship? Don't you think?
Well, he was at the same race where she gave him her number.
Would
Right?
you have seen that?
I don't know. That was kind of a private interaction.
Shouldn't Brian be blown away that they have like a
Right.
flirtatious relationship right
Right,
now?
like-
Because like,
How do you guys know each other?
wait a minute, Dom, why did we save her anyway?
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
does she run her hands? Is she just bad? And she's like, okay, well, you did one good thing for me, so I'm gonna do one good thing for you, and this is it. And
Oh,
now
she's
I'm
like
back on Campos' side.
She's a karma person.
Yeah.
I think she wants out. She wants Campos gone. So if Dom can take out Campos and Phoenix, then she's free.
Yeah. She's trapped there. It's
So-
probably a pretty good life.
Except for like going to drug handoffs and getting shot up, you know?
Yeah, that doesn't happen that often, probably.
And I feel like you would probably, you're saying it's a good life. She probably has a lot of, eats nice meals, lives in fancy houses,
Right.
drives nice cars.
Yeah.
But when it comes to actual substance,
Yeah.
how do you think our friendships are?
It's not a meaningful life.
No.
Yeah.
A nice life, but
You
not a
couldn't even
meaningful
have
life.
friends. You would never know if your friends were your friends or they're just being your friends to get in with the
Right.
cartel or because
Yeah.
that's why I'm glad I'm not as pretty as her because I know who my real friends are.
Even with Dom. Yeah. You know, this is, maybe we shouldn't even talk about this. I saw somebody really unattractive. It was while I was in Cancun. And I wasn't like trying to be mean, but I was just like looking at them and they were at the same place as us and they were having a good time. And I was thinking, they probably have a fantastic personality because they have to.
Mhm.
Like, when, I don't know, it's just weird to think of how life would be. Like, they weren't just like normal, they were like unattractive. But I'm like, you can't just be like, well, I'm not going to do it. Like, you still have to live your life
Right.
and
yeah.
find ways to have fun.
Right.
And not that, like, you have to be good looking to have fun, but, like, it definitely would make things a lot harder. Like,
Right. Yeah. Especially if you with other people.
Yeah. Like, you want to find a husband or wife, you know, and you want to, like, I feel like it's got to be, everything probably becomes more difficult. And when you're, like, you see this a lot of times, when people are really attractive, things can be a lot easier for them.
Oh yeah.
So the opposite end, I'm like, they probably have to work on having a really good personality,
Mm-hmm.
a really good, healthy mindset on what's important in life and all that.
Huh.
I don't know.
So when you see someone that's attractive, you think they probably don't have to work hard on their personality.
Well,
Like they're pretty.
I don't know. Like, do you think isn't it surprising when you meet somebody that's like really attractive, male or female, whatever, and they're really smart and
Yeah.
like have all these other great qualities? You're like, wow, like that's crazy.
Right.
Because I feel like it's not that surprising when you meet somebody really attractive and they're like just dumb and
Airheaded. Yeah.
airheaded.
Like they only got this
Bad
far
personality.
because they're good looking.
Yeah. And they could use it to their advantage and whatever.
Right. Yeah. That's probably how Ryan Reynolds got as far as he did. Only on his looks.
Yeah. Who knows? I don't know where I was going with that. I just remember thinking that. Might have had a couple shots of tequila.
Things you think
Beforehand.
about on the beach in Mexico. That person has a really good personality.
I was literally thinking that. I'm like, I bet they are an awesome person.
Yeah.
They have to be.
Right.
That they're not just like depressed and sitting at home like my life sucks because I'm really ugly.
Yeah.
They're like, I can still have fun and go out and like have good friendships and all this, but my looks have nothing to do with it.
Right.
It's based on everything else.
But there is a point, I think, where a person's personality has a lot to do with their looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you got to
Right.
know once you get to know somebody,
Oh yeah.
you're like, oh, well, they're not as unattractive as I used to think they were because I know them. Or somebody who's really good
Yes.
looking, and you get to know them,
Yeah.
you're like, there's no attraction here
Right.
at all because of your personality.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's true. It's probably more the initial thing, right? Like when you first meet somebody really attractive is more likable.
Right. Exactly.
Very first impression.
You're laughing at more of their jokes, and
Yeah.
and somebody unattractive makes the same joke, and you're like, oh, what are you even doing
Yeah.
here?
Ooh, creepy.
Yeah. Creepy. Oh, you're such a creeper.
Isn't that the difference between creepy and smooth? It's how good looking you are,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And what you're wearing. Anyways, beach thoughts from Ryan and Jason.
And that is the Fast and Furious podcast.
That's in a minute 85. Thanks for listening. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jason.
And always remember,
Winning's winning.
is that really 85?
I always wonder
Yeah, that's 85.
when they're casting movies, I'm always like, oh, how awkward. Where they're like, clearly they're like, for this part, they needed somebody that was like ugly and fat.
Right.
So they're like, all right, we're looking for somebody really ugly and
Right.
fat, or somebody with like a messed up facial feature.
Right. Right.
And they're like, oh, I have a messed up facial feature, and I know how to act.
You get a call from your agent. Like, we found a role perfect for
Yeah.
you.
Right.
Like, oh. What do you mean perfect for
Oh
me?
yeah, I always fit the ugly
Right.
roles.
But there are people who like
we need somebody with a lazy eye.
what's his name? There's like a guy who's like always the ugly role. Like every time I've seen him, he's kind of like a bad guy, and he's just like the ugly guy. I can think of one role that he's in the movie Enchanted, and I've seen him in other movies where he just plays the same role, and he's just genuinely an ugly guy. This guy here.
Yeah.
And he's like pretty portly, and he's just like he plays these roles that are just like,
Yeah, he's always like the weird.
yeah.
I don't. Yeah,
And like
I
he's
feel like I recognize him.
so it's just like, well, if you can make your career out of that, I mean, that's like, okay, I might as well use this to my advantage. You know, I'm making millions of dollars as the ugly guy.
Right.
Or who's the other guy? But like, I feel like it is like, we just need a fat guy. Like, oh, okay, well, that's an.
Yeah.
Like I feel like for a little bit, like Jonah Hill was like the fat funny friend, right? Kind of ugly, fat, funny friend. And then he
Yeah.
lost a bunch of weight.
Right.
And I remember people commenting like
upset
in
about that,
interviews,
right?
they're like, "So are you still the funny guy in Hollywood or not anymore?" And he's like, "Why are you asking me this question? Like my sense of humor hasn't changed at all just because
Right.
I lost 100 pounds. You know what I mean?"
Right. Well,
So,
that's interesting.
yeah.
All right. There's an actor in this movie.
Which movie?
The show we just started. I don't think that's the right guy. Griselda?
Oh, with Sofia Vergara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he looked so familiar to me. I have to have the wrong guy. And I cannot figure out who he is. I'll just pull up Netflix here. And I'll
Griselda.
pull up the cast. I'll show you the guy. And I'm like, I know, I just saw a movie or show with this guy in it.
Is he? Do you remember his name from the show?
No, I'm not sure they gave it. But I can show you the guy. Uh-oh. Nope. Episodes and info. No. I don't know how to use this on my phone. Season 1, episode... Alright, here we go. This guy. Not him. He's sitting at the table. And I was like... Him. Like, I know I've seen this guy. And I can't find him on the cast list. I thought it was Martin Rodriguez.
It's this guy here,
Yes.
right?
Oh, did I have the wrong guy? Jose.
Jose.
Okay, what's he in? Twilight. Next.
Seen any of these movies?
No. How did I?
Narcos? Did you watch Narcos?
No. American, what was that? American.
Whoops. American Crime Story?
No.
Shooter? That's a show.
Victor. Night Shift. How to Get Murder.
He's in a lot of stuff. Jeez.
Yeah, he is. Just saw him in something though.
House?
No.
Suits?
He's in Suits. Ah!
What was his name? They didn't even show his name. Harry the what?
Because I just watched Suits and I'm like, this
It's like
face
Harry the cab driver.
looks so familiar.
Is
that
that
what
what
he
he
is?
Harry the cab driver?
Oh, he's the cab driver that tries to sue him. Okay.
Oh, okay.
He tries to sue the guy for when they have a collision. You saw it, right? He takes him to court and represents himself, and he's like really smart. That's who it is. That's funny. How random. I just was finding the wrong guy.
Trying to see if sometimes they have pictures of him in the show. That's so funny that you just happened to watch those. Like you just started watching Suits.
Yeah, I was looking for like this is a hot top-rated show. I'll try it. I'm like, this is good. It's been out for a while. I'm glad there's a bunch of seasons. Harry the cab driver.
Harry the cab driver.
Yeah. Right there. Tony Santana. Ah! I was like really like struggling last night looking for this. I'm like, how am I not? This
That's
doesn't
funny.
look like him. Okay. One more.
Isn't that cool I made this?
So you didn't finish Suits yet? That is cool.
No, we stopped watching a long time ago.
Why? They get boring.
Yeah,
like
this
the
was like the
same-
same problem. It's like, okay, he's
didn't
still
go to
scared he's gonna
Harvard.
get found out that he wasn't a lawyer.
And
And
the same like I'm guessing it's
and like
cases, they get in a jam, they find a clever way to get out of the jam.
right.
Yeah.
He magically read a book somewhere that he memorized the words to and knows how to get out of it, and I don't
And
know.
he's got a great memory.
And like the law firm kept getting different partners. Like what's his name? Harvey made a
Don't
partner,
tell me
and then
anything.
there's like
Yeah.
too much. Like I don't know. It's just like every show. It just gets too intricate to the point where you're
No
like, I can't-
resolution.
Yeah. I mean, it did end finally, like last year or the year before or something.
Like that's fine if it's a show like The Office. We don't want The Office to end. That show can just keep going.
Right.
But if it's Prison Break, like,
Right.
come on.
It's like that's the difference between sitcoms and dramas, right?
Yeah. Or The 100.
Right. Yeah, that went on too long. That's
And
that's why I
did you
did stop
finish it?
watching. No, I
Oh
didn't.
man.
I got
Because
to
they were like, oh, people are complaining it's the same. Let's make it different.
yeah. Like they made the world actually end, and then people came from space, and then it was just like they were the
Oh, it got
grounders
way
again.
weirder than that.
That's where I stopped.
Oh. Yeah. They
Like
went to
fast
another
forwarded, and
planet.
she like found a kid. You weren't sure if it was her kid or not, but it was like a yeah. I didn't even get to all that.
They went
Like
to another
prisoners
planet.
from outer space came.
Are you ever gonna watch it?
No.
They went
Melody
to another
watched it all of it.
planet, and so there's like weird gas and weird storms and weird plants, and they can like transport people to this other planet where time moves differently. So they'll send somebody there for 10 minutes, but it's really like 7 years as prison. There's like a punishment
Okay.
for people, and then like it literally ends with them figuring out how to. What's the like hippy dippy word when people like not enchant themselves, where they like
Mm,
become
right. Yeah.
part of
Yeah. I know what you mean.
the spiritual world,
Right. Yeah.
and
no,
so they like it like mixes into like the spiritual world where they can move into this thing because there's these spirits, and it was so weird. It got like, and they're like it's not heaven. They're like in these weird spiritual realms and stuff in between death and like oh, it was so weird. And then they're battling these spirits. Like this show got weird.
Yeah.
Really weird.
I liked it back when it was like, even when like the thing happened and like they were in the bunker and they had like the fights like out in the center and they had like the Blood Queen or whatever her name was. What was her name? The one that was like trapped under the bed at the very beginning, under the floor. Anyways, I forget her name, but yeah,
the whole premise was great. Of like, here's a whole bunch of technology, but you lost civilization.
Right. Yeah.
So now you have like.
It started off so good, and then like every season, it's like, hey, we beat the mountain man. Now it is. Oh, it's the
There's the
whatever.
city
Yeah.
and there's the
now
there's a AI city.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh my, the City of Light.
Yeah.
I forgot about the City of Light with the like robot lady who was like up in a satellite, like whatever.
Yep, take the chip and you'll go there and be happy. Here's what bothered me about that. Everybody was so against it, but I'm like, if everybody's taking this chip and entering pure bliss for eternity, why are we against everybody taking the chip? Because mentally, oh yeah, it's terrible. It's not real. Like, but if you are going to this fake world and it's perfect and great and everybody's happy, what's wrong with
you don't
that?
have self. What is it? When
Free
you make
will?
your own free will. Yeah.
But if you're happy, does it matter?
Yeah. That's why
But
everyone
it
who
felt
took
wrong.
the chip said to take
It
the
felt
chip.
wrong, but everybody,
Right.
they're all like, "This is great," and the AI's like, "It's perfect."
What was her name?
It's weird.
Kelly or Stacy or some white girl
know.
name. Allie.
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 It's
Yeah.
Allie, but it was spelled weird, right?
Yeah. Because it was like an
ALI
acronym
or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Last minute.
This is where mine begins.
Bienvenido a la casa de Dios, señor Braga.
Check.
Check 1, 2. Do the new intro.
Welcome back to Grant. No, what is it? You're better at it. You do it. You listen to more podcasts than me. How does
Joe Rogan starts mid conversation. Like it just starts. I think you were gonna ask me how does Joe Rogan start?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. So you were, yeah. I traveled to Mexico a few weeks ago, and he's like, wow, yeah. And it's literally in the middle, like you jumped into the middle of their conversation.
Huh.
He never introduces.
So what was your favorite part about Mexico?
I feel like I struggle to pick one distinct thing, but I enjoy having the warm weather and being able to lay out in the sun or go to the pool or the beach and the kids playing like vacation, right? And relaxing and then not having to worry about stuff and just doing whatever you feel like. Like the food was good. You could eat whenever you felt like it. You could go to the pool. You could go to the, do whatever you felt like. You could sleep in. You could order any drink you wanted. I drink a lot of pina coladas, actually.
Oh, I love pina coladas.
I know. I never used to order them that often.
They're so
And
good.
I was like, this is such a great beach drink.
Right.
A little
It's
coconut.
cold, yeah.
It's
Oh,
cold.
It's very
delicious.
refreshing.
It's like
yeah.
a milkshake, but no milk.
Like a slushy.
I got a mudslide, and I was like, this is not that good.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. It was like they blend ice for it, but it felt like it should be like blended frozen milk. Like it should have been more like a milkshake.
Yeah.
It wanted to be a milkshake, but it was made with water instead of milk.
I feel like
That's what it tastes
everything in Mexico, or like where it's hot, like milk is just a bad choice. Like they can't do milk. You're not gonna sit on the beach and drink milk, right?
Yeah.
Like a milkshake on the beach.
I didn't
does not
get
sound
any White Russians.
Good. Yeah.
Even at breakfast, the kids got cereal. Of course, we're at an all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet, and they order cereal.
Yeah.
And I think it was Finn was like, "This milk tastes funny."
Mm.
Yeah, cows are different down here.
Yeah. Do you think that they use? I wouldn't know if they would just be like, okay, and this big, like we have to feed thousands of people every morning, thousands, hundreds of people every morning.
Yeah, hundreds. At the
Hundreds of
resort.
people every morning. So it's like, okay, what's the best way to have milk ready? Okay, we'll get a bunch of dry milk and we'll just add, is it that
No,
kind of thing? Or
no.
it's just like, okay.
It's real milk, but their butter tastes different. It's because their cows are on a completely different diet.
Right.
So I remember Snack Man had goats growing up, and they'd milk their goats and have goat milk because I'd hang out with them a bunch. And the one time in the fall, they raked all their leaves and threw them into the goat pen, and the goats went to town eating all these leaves that fell
Okay.
off the trees, and the milk tasted terrible. It was
Oh,
like-
really?
Yeah, because it changed the flavor so much.
Instead of
So
eating
what-
grass, they're eating leaves.
Yeah, so the things that animals are eating do affect
Huh.
the flavor of the milk. And I feel like I've heard that even with humans, where like a mom will eat something and then the babies don't want to breastfeed.
Right. Especially like spicy things. I feel like that's the most common thing.
Yeah, garlic and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Interesting.
Jalapenos. I don't know. But yeah, maybe human milk would taste like cow milk if we ate grass. We should try
Yeah.
it.
Oh, listener, I didn't even see you there. Thanks for joining. This is the Granny Shifting
Oh,
podcast.
we didn't introduce it yet.
No.
Did we really not?
This is
We're on minute 86.
86, minute 86 of Fast and Furious.
And I'm Jason.
And I'm Ryan.
So, Dom and Brian are standing on top of the hill. Giselle just left them, and they're overlooking the Mexican town. And you were right. It was a Mexican town, and it was real.
Yeah.
Because you
Seems true.
said, if it's real, there'll be a big Catholic church.
Yeah.
And we looked at the picture of the town. We're like, oh, right there looks like a Catholic church. And that'll show up later this minute.
Yeah.
So the scene changes, and there's some kids playing soccer on the road. And we know they love, football on the road.
Football. Yeah.
So, all right, I got to tell you a little something from my Mexico trip.
Okay.
2 things. First, Gage is getting face paint at the kids club. The kids are all getting face paint because it was the activity they were doing. And I'm watching them draw a big white circle around Gage's face. And they're starting to fill it in. And then he looks in the mirror or something, and then he talks to them, and then they wipe it off. So they're working really hard to wipe all this white face paint back off his face. And we're like, what is going on? Because we're waiting for the face paint to get done so we can take them back to the room and get ready for dinner. And then they get all the white face paint off, and they take brown and they draw a football shaped shape on his face. And I'm like, oh my word. He asked for a football, and they started drawing a soccer ball on his face because it's Mexico.
Right.
Which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
The other thing was the one day
But
at
he was
Kids
like,
Club,
he's like, no, that's not what I want.
right. He's like, no,
if
that's
it was
not a football.
one of my kids, they would have just let them do the whole thing and be like, it's not what I wanted, but okay, I'm
And
too
then been
scared.
disappointed about it. The
Yeah,
rest of the
I'm
day.
too scared to ask for something different.
Yeah. So another day we were at the kids club, and there was a inflatable rubber colorful ball, and me and Gage and Finn were just kicking it around and made a little fake game of soccer where it was me versus them. If I could kick it onto the wall, I get a point. If they kick it onto the wall behind me, And this little like, he might have been 7 or 8, kid comes up and he doesn't speak any English. Spanish kid, Mexican, probably. I mean, we're in
It's
Mexico. And he wants to play. So we're like, yeah, sure. And he could figure out what we were doing.
Right.
And this kid starts playing with us, and he was like so good at soccer. It was ridiculous. Like, he would kick the ball so hard, I'd be like
Scared.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because he would boot it, and you could just tell like he had all this like footwork where he could like trap the ball and pass it behind his leg and use his other leg. Where I'm like, oh my word, like the kid was literally better than me.
Yeah.
Like, I was obviously stronger and faster,
Right.
but his like technique was so much better than me. I just thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I do feel. I mean, in pretty much every other country, like football or soccer is like the sport. I remember even when we were in Honduras, them just always having a soccer ball in the little like area that we were at and just playing on the concrete, just like always playing.
Me and you rode mules up the side of a mountain to
Right.
a remote village that they told us had never seen white people before.
Right. Yeah.
And on the side of this mountain, I mean, the people there looked like they were 60 or 70, some of them, and they told us they were like in their 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
And they were like 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
On the side of this mountain, they had a football field flattened out and had a
soccer field.
A soccer field.
Yeah.
Yeah, their football.
Yeah.
But yeah, they made a soccer field on the side of the mountain just to play soccer.
Like all this open space they dedicated to soccer, and then they're living like.
And this was like a poor, remote
right
village in the mountains. So we were taking like kits of soap and toothbrushes.
Yeah.
Things
Like, what should we do with this big open area? Should we build our houses there?
I think
no, we'll make it a soccer.
They must have leveled it somewhat. You don't
You
just
think
have
so?
a flat soccer field on the side of a mountain.
Maybe that's where like they chose to make their village. We need a space big enough
Right.
to play soccer.
Well, where can we put the soccer field?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
crazy, right?
Part of the culture for sure.
Yeah.
And they'll just play it wherever. And I think, I mean, that is like if you got a pretty confined space, you're not gonna like basketball's hard. You need a hoop for basketball. Soccer ball, you literally just need the ball.
Yeah, and you can
You know
play
what
it
I mean?
anywhere.
Yeah.
Concrete, grass, cornfields. Yeah.
Okay, so the kids make way for this caravan.
Yeah, some vehicles come down the street and they move. So
I can't even tell what the first vehicle is.
I was trying to figure it out. Like the first vehicle, it looks like a Humvee of some sort.
But it's not. Is it big?
It's very boxy and wide. Definitely like an off-road military style. I mean, it's not military. It's gloss black, but it has like military vehicle vibes.
Right.
Very squarish, but it's new.
And everyone's watching these cars drive by. Like it's like a strange thing to watch these cars drive by.
Yeah. And I think it's funny. They're acting like they're going down this like Mexican town. But I also feel like they told the people in this Mexican town, like, hang stuff up to make it look like a Mexican town. Because it's literally, the whole front of this building is piñatas hanging up.
That's the party city. And
they're like, in a legit Mexican town, not like a tourist town. You think they just have like piñatas hanging everywhere along the street? Maybe.
Well, they are piñatas. I mean, that is a Hispanic.
Yes.
Mexican. I don't know what.
I just don't know about the whole front of the street.
What is that vehicle, though?
Yeah, if you know what this vehicle is, let us know. Very interesting. Cool looking vehicle.
Like, I want to say like a Bronco, but it's not.
And what are these? Now, behind it are these like super clean,
those are like Suburbans.
Old school Suburbans.
Yeah.
But they're like real clean off-road. Some guy restored a Suburban, made this like off-road desert Suburban, and then they're like, "Can we use it in the movie?" He's like, "Yes."
You need to make a second one though. We
big
need two
wheels,
at least.
bash bars. Got the extra tire up on the big roof rack with your big what do they call those lights? They're not like fog lights. They're like off-road.
Yeah, KC lights.
Spotlights that are on your roof. Yeah, cool lking vehicles. But
It is funny that they end up at the church.
Yes.
Because like if you watch any movie that's like I don't know, I don't want to say Spanish, but like any movie that's got like Hispanic or Latinx influence, there's like a church in the movie. Like a church is a part of the movie.
Okay.
So like
yeah,
the
that's a big
church
part
is
of
like
the culture.
yeah, but this is obviously run down. I mean, we see in the inside of it.
But
That's
this
like
is also the exact building that we picked out when we saw
right.
this
Yeah.
horizon view of this entire town. You could see this one larger white building with 2 towers sticking out of the corners of it.
Yeah.
And that's the one we're like, oh, that's the church.
Right.
And this is
But
where
it's like
this caravan goes.
all this construction stuff out front.
Oh, that's all of Mexico, man. They are just always building and fixing stuff.
Yeah. But you see
Man,
okay, so we get
there's no emblems on that.
yeah, what is that,
That thing
thing?
is crazy.
Big roof scoop.
Roof.
Roof scoop.
Bump.
Hood scoop.
No, there's no scoop. What do you call that?
Oh,
Cow.
cow.
Hood cow.
Yeah. Anyways,
it's
so we get Braga hops out. Is this Phoenix over here?
No.
No, it's not Phoenix.
But yeah, so this is Braga's caravan, and he was
Yeah.
in that cool looking gloss black Humvee looking
Like,
thing.
do people in the town know that's Braga's vehicle, and so that's why they're all staring, or they're
Maybe.
staring because it's a vehicle?
Right.
Yeah.
And the fancy. He's got his fancy sunglasses on, his like snake skin print shirt, and they go into the Catholic church, which is you're right, it's under construction.
Yeah.
They're building it. There's like scaffolding set up in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, when they when they built these things, they put so much design into them
Yeah.
that they're like impossible to upkeep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
So much work into like all the detailing
right.
of the concrete work, and it blows my mind. I have no idea how they build this stuff.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And this is just like a small Mexican town.
I mean, there's 8 pews that each one probably holds 4 people
Yeah.
in the huge room.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some construction, but it looks like they could still set up for church. And a table up front with a priest behind it.
Yeah,
It's kind of funny.
Some kneeling benches here.
Yeah. He's just hanging out at the priest
Just
table
reading the Bible. That's just what priests do.
The big gold cross.
Yeah.
And he says, "Welcome to the house of the Lord, Senor Braga." That's where the minute ends.
That's the last thing. So he's carrying a duffel bag in. You think he's like doing a deal with the priest, or is the priest in on some illegal action here, or what's going on?
Maybe if he gives him the money, he can fix up his church.
Mm.
And in turn, he lets him use the back facilities to do all the
Store drugs.
I feel like there's a lot of movies where the back of the church is used for illegal activities.
Yeah.
It's a good cover.
Yeah. People don't expect that.
No, they'd never expect that.
But yeah, that's where the minute ends. I don't know. I honestly can't remember anything that's happening now. So
What are these little display things with all these red things sticking out of it?
Or candles. So you go and you say a prayer and light a candle.
Oh.
And your prayer goes to Mary, who takes it to God for you.
I don't want to laugh. Is that true?
I don't know. Something like that. I'm not very
man.
familiar with the Catholic Church, but I remember learning at some point or hearing at some point that like they don't pray directly to God. They pray to the saints, and the saints are the ones that carry the messages to God.
Okay.
Because they believe that God is like, they shouldn't have communication with God, if I remember correctly. Like them as regular people, maybe a priest can, I'm not sure. But like, that's why the saints are so important, because those are the ones that carry their messages to God.
So, yeah, I went to a Catholic church one time with my friend John. Remember him? John Koo?
Oh, yeah.
And it was so strange. Like, not so I'm familiar with going to church, but nothing like this.
Right.
Like, you'd be sitting there, and a lot of it's in a different language. And then at certain times, the whole congregation would like stand up all at once. You're like, oh. And then everybody would like recite something back.
Right.
And
very
like, there's
liturgical.
Things going back and forth. I'm like, I don't know any of this.
Yeah.
And then they did communion, where I'm like, well, I can take communion. At least at my church, I'm invited to.
Right.
And I went up, and I don't remember if they told me I couldn't take it then or something because I'm not a member there. Something very awkward and strange happened.
Well, a lot of times they like, not a lot of times, I don't know. They like have like the tub or the chest or the basket of wafers, and you like take it and you like dip it in the cup. Is that how it was there?
So they had, I don't remember the wafers. I just remember they had one goblet, and
Yeah.
everybody drank out of it.
Oh, okay.
You
Sometimes
go
they
up and take turns taking sips.
okay. Sometimes people they dip it in and then
Yeah.
eat it, and it
I don't remember
pre-says
the bread.
something.
But I just remember it feeling very awkward and like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, would they talk in Latin?
I
I
don't know.
mean, like the Pope, right? That's what he speaks, Latin.
Maybe.
Like,
I don't know. Maybe we're better suited talking about history than Catholicism.
yeah. I don't know too much about it, but I know people when they're praying for something specifically, they do light a candle.
Okay. Interesting.
And like they're like, what are you lighting the candle for? It's for this specific prayer request or this specific person that they're praying for. So I don't know about that taking the message to saying the message being sent to God. But that's what I remember from grade school. So
Yep.
it was a long time ago.
Grable Catholic.
We
School.
busing to the private school that I went to, because there wasn't any busing from my house to the school. A lot of times the busing picked up a couple different schools on the way there. And the one school that we picked up was Our Lady of Angels.
You're making that up.
No, that's real. They're in Colombia. Our Lady of Angels. Yeah. Yep.
What?
And so we would like talk to the people, the kids who went to that school, and I remember learning some stuff from them. More than I learned from actual school about other religions.
Right.
Or
right.
more that I remember
They
anyways.
might have just been telling you stuff too. Like, oh, tell them like when we pray to Mary and we can light a candle.
All right, let's find out. Let's find out, why do Catholics light a candle?
When they pray.
I'll just say light a candle.
Okay. Here we go.
We light candles before statue or sacred image of our Lord or a saint. The light signifies our prayer, which is offered in faith, entering the light of God. That's all it says. It says, why do they light for somebody? Catholics often light candles for an individual. This may be for a soul of a deceased loved one or someone who is sick. Prayers are said for those in need of divine intervention or divine blessing.
Well, if you're Catholic.
Oh, the term votive comes from the Latin word votum. They're votive candles. Like you like buy those, like votives are like those little small white candles that you see in like
tea candles?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw another one here that says, why do Catholics pray to Mary?
Oh, yeah, we want to know that.
Prayer to Mary is memory of the great mystery. Oh, that doesn't answer my question. Why do Catholics believe in Mary and not Jesus? Mary is truly mother of God, since she is a mother of the eternal Son of God. Okay. Mary did not. Why do they? This doesn't really say.
Ryan's going down a rabbit hole now.
Yeah, this is just like...
You know what? Why don't you research this? That's going to be your assignment for the week. And when we come back on World Religions 101 with the Granny Shift podcast, we will let you guys know.
Yeah. Or if you are Catholic, feel free to
reach out.
Message us on social media.
Yeah, we'll call you on our next podcast. We will. Message us and we'll get a hold of you. And we can ask you some questions. We want to talk to you.
Interested in Catholicism.
Yeah. We're not trying to make fun. We're trying to be more
genuine
informed.
interest. And that has been at 86 of Fast and Furious. The rabbit holes we go down are pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
Thanks for listening. I'm Ryan.
600,000 episodes and we haven't talked about Catholicism yet. So.
Not in depth.
More episodes than Joe Rogan, and we've talked less Catholicism
than Joe Rogan. More episodes than Joe Rogan.
Not yet, but we will. All right, thanks for listening. I'm Jason.
And I'm Ryan.
And always remember,
winning is winning. Perfect. You like my over the desk shot set up here now? I got tired of taking that mic off to put the adapter on for my...
Oh, is that how you do your like unboxing straight down?
I'm surprised that's not in the video actually. That was pretty close. Pretty close.
Good zoom.
I gotta stop streaming.